Cigar Militia. When I stop by a cigar store, I always look for my go-to cigars. I stocked up a few of those, but I also look for something I've never tried before. Well, at the Cigar Militia, we specialize in a lot of small boutique cigar manufacturers. Come in and try a Don Kiki by Karen Berger or a Makaju by Ty Williams. We are the Cigar Militia at 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard. Help us out, stock up, and review some of our boutique brands.
At Palmetto State Armory, we've dedicated ourselves to providing responsible citizens with the freedom to protect themselves and their loved ones. For over a decade, we've been manufacturing top-quality American-made components, assembling them in Columbia, South Carolina, so that you can purchase them directly from us, either in store or online at PalmettoStateArmory.com. We're committed to offering you the best, most reliable equipment you can count on. We invite you to visit us today and see what makes us different. Palmetto State Armory, American-made for life. Absolutely different. I mean, can't imagine a 77-plus-year-old guy that was able to handle that. Wow. But let's be honest, some things that we got to do. One thing is, and I encourage you to think this way, now it's full on. Now we know they're willing to kill us. They are willing to kill us. Now we know it. It's not a sort of a vague quantity. It's not that. No, every time they hinted about it. They talked, somebody just needs to do it. No, that was the plan. That was absolutely the plan. And I'm willing to go ahead and buy the rights, not me personally, but the federal government to change Hail to the Chief to something a little bit. That's right, Joe. We talked about spooling this thing up. We talked about the Tuesday train. We talked about all the things that are coming into things. This is going to be a fortunate son election in just a few weeks. Nothing will be able to stop what's happening. We're going to pull the music down and bring up the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Gene, happy Sunday.
A happy Sunday to you, David the scientist. First one on deck. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, your usual opening couldn't be more true today.
Yeah.
Things are wild and weird and crazy and
insane, bizarro world.
Bizarro world. But it's not bizarro if you think about it. This is like them. This, like you said, they're willing to kill this man.
Well, look, they, we had President Kennedy got murdered. President Reagan was also almost murdered. The communists in Russia killed the czar and all his family. This is sort of their MO. This is what they do.
Yeah, and the only thing that would have made yesterday, I don't say better because it was bad at some point, but the only thing I would love to see different would be to add in, of course, without him being shot, but would be for him to say, you know what? Here I am at the hospital. Let me do my speech.
Yeah, let me finish.
That would have been a very tough thing to do. But when you saw him stand up and pump his fist to the crowd, which has become just an instant iconic picture that will go down in history forever, and you saw the crowd behind him, and I imagine the ones in front of him as well that we could see, just standing and cheering and everything. It was like a game-winning score in Super Bowl,
Yeah, because somehow he was a victim of a violent crime, but he was also able to spike the football.
Right. I mean, they can't. They've tried everything. Everything you can imagine, they've thrown at this man, and nothing works. And yet his competitors have trouble walking upstairs or just sitting on a bicycle.
Right.
Nothing sums up the abilities, the strength of these two men than what happened yesterday. Nothing sums it up better. When you compare the frailty versus what we saw yesterday with a true leader, and when you see the interview with the man that had the really cool, I want to get the little visor with the orange hair on it, saying, we were telling the police, look, there's a man on that roof right there.
Yeah, we could see him. We were pointing and yelling.
All these failures, and I get it, you learn from things, but this is something that should not have been.
No, this is U.S. Secret Service DEI. That's exactly what it is. And the Ponytail Brigade, and I'm sorry, and this is sexist, and it's maybe wrong, but when it's the future leader of the free world, previous leader, most powerful man on the planet, maybe you need to bring your A game. Maybe you don't need to turn that into a social experiment. Maybe you need to have big, scary folks that can take a shot and affect change. One lady could not holster her weapon and use Donald Trump as a human shield to protect herself.
Exactly. Yeah.
These are the not ready for primetime folks.
Yeah. And apparently he has asked for more detail because obviously they know things like this are likely or possible. I mean, you had our president just a few days ago say we got to put him in a bullseye.
Yeah. And Benny Jones, or who's the guy? The guy that was the quasi chairman of the House Unselect Committee on January, the bill to strip Donald Trump of his Secret Service protection. We've got Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has at least 2, maybe 3 home invasions running for president, also doesn't have any Secret Service protection.
Right. And we've seen, sadly, like not unexpected, we've seen people cheering this and being happy and lamenting that the shooter wasn't more accurate. I have no doubt we have people we know we interact with on this station that are probably in that mindset. They won't admit it, but
well, let's hope they don't. Let's hope they don't admit it. I don't think I could stomach knowing them and thinking that they actually believe that.
Yeah, I've seen one person I know already basically laughing at it. It's sickening, and I promise you, Gene, I say this wholeheartedly. Had this been the opposite, I would be mad as I am right now.
Yeah, me too.
Because my mindset would be, we're better than that.
Oh, well, not just that we're better than that, but he's our president.
You don't have the right to kill or assault or diminish our president. I get to vote.
Right.
You know, that's my thing. That's where these issues are settled. It's when you vote. And until that legal process goes away or there's some sort of martial law, you can't justify anything else as long as you have the right and the power to vote.
Yeah. And, you know, one thing that's being talked about, it looks like...
Hold on, David. We're going to take a quick break. Mandatory one. They'll all be mandatory in the next 2 hours. I'm Gene Garris. It's America's Radio Show.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. To move closer to family, live within a smaller budget, or just wanting a change of scenery. Whatever your reasons, having to figure out all the various housing market trends in your area may not be what you signed up for. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in. Realtors have the expertise to help you find the right price and navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. That's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Dave Ramsey here. Do you want your money to work for you rather than you working for your money? Go see my friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union. They're not a mega bank and have been serving the Midlands since 1936, offering good old-fashioned customer service and free services. They'll look out for your financial well-being. With 14 locations, check them out today at palmettocitizens.org. Federally insured by the NCUA.
At Temple's Halloran, we are here first and foremost to help the family through their most difficult time while being mindful of their financial needs. At Temple's Halloran, we are interested in serving the family, not loading a contract with many options and misunderstood packages. We serve families one at a time. And you're dealing with either Jeff Temples or John Halloran, two veteran funeral directors. They were raised in this area and they have served the Midlands for more than 60 years. Temple's Halloran.
All right, 803-799-8255-799-TALK on the Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline. We're going to pull the music down just like that, and then we're going to bring David the Scientist back up. Thanks for holding on there, David.
Yeah, a couple other things I want to bring up. My suspicion of what happened here is this guy, first of all, he saw the debate and realized that he hears all the chatter. Biden's not fit.
Into democracy. He's attacking our democracy. He's going to destroy the democracy. He's going to be a dictator. He's already said he's going to be a dictator. Day one, he's going to be a dictator. He's going to destroy the country. He's going to arrest the bad people. He's going to arrest our people.
And then he sees the poor performance of the debate, and he hears even the Democrats saying, hey, step down, Joe, and everything. And then just realizes this thing's lost. So he snaps. He's going, my God, everything they said is true. He's evil. He's going to end the country. I got to take him out. This guy's probably got to his last bit of, I can't take it anymore. And the other thing is, they point out he's a registered, or at least he registered as a Republican.
But he donates to Democrats.
Right. And I've actually got family members that did this, so we know this is very, very common. But in this last primary, which is the only one the first time he could ever vote, is that
no, he was probably a Nikki Haley voter.
Right, yeah, that's what I said. The Biden thing was already wrapped up. There was no point to vote Biden. My mom's best friend did this. So they register as a Republican for that primary, so they're allowed to vote in it and say, okay, I'm going to vote for Nikki or whoever else, anyone but Trump, because they feel like, okay, we got to get a weaker candidate up and everything. So just because he's registered Republican doesn't mean he is a Republican. And like you said, he donated to a liberal PAC, which I get it, it's only $15. But my God, if I was them, I would send that $15 back right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that $15 if I was them.
No, it's poison.
You know,
It's poison. I mean,
Yeah.
it
Right.
is poison. It's absolutely poison.
But yeah, this is a guy who fell for the rhetoric, and again, the leader of the free world, saying he need to put this guy in a bullseye. And
Yeah.
you know, if it happened the other way around, it'd be the whole, see if the rhetoric, and he was led by words.
Yeah.
And in the case of Donald Trump, the words they cite were said in a, which there's no record of, because they were in a private room. So it's funny how people want to say, well, these hundreds of people reacted to some words that they know. People need to, and this goes on both sides, but people really need to start watching the rhetoric.
No, but look at remember when Sarah Huckabee Sanders got harangued at that Redbird restaurant? I think it might have been in Maryland or in Old Alexandria or something. They're closed. FYI,
Wow.
they closed. They couldn't survive that because guess what?
Right.
Conservative folks
There are people, Gene, that said, hey, you know, this is a total misconstruing of what happened. But when they do every president, not Donald Trump, had people saying, oh, you know what, Biden will take him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, those words didn't age too well.
Yeah, so that's another crazy thing. And remember, Tucker Carlson a few months ago said, "Look, they crap with a K, you know, like imitation crab meat, crap with a K," and they impeached him twice on totally bogus stuff. Then they tried to undermine his administration at every opportunity, not doing what he told them to do. You know, even Mad Dog Mattis, you know, punked the president on Syria. And then later it came out that Bashir Assad did not, that it wasn't state forces that released a chlorine gas attack on the rebels. It was the rebels themselves, so that they could have the issue. And we launched missiles into Syria for that. So these people are horribly dishonest and garbage. Even Milley came out when he was massaging what's the guy's name? I think Bob Woodward's leg, or he would reach out if Trump tried to hit China for some Chinese overreach or attack on U.S. interests, that he would reach out to his parody person in China and let him know in advance of the attack. These people are despicable, disgusting, and they're sick and hyper violent. Look what happened again. Summer of Love 2020. Look what happened. Look what they did. And then throw in all the COVID nonsense. And they say, "Wow, the biggest indicator of what political party you're affiliated with is if you have an American." It's not true. The biggest determiner of what tribe that you're affiliated with is if you wear a mask or not.
Yeah,
there's still people wearing masks.
Oh yeah.
Still.
Well, the last thing I'll say, Gene, is that I started thinking at the moment it happened, he just won the election.
Oh yeah, and that.
I mean, he won Pennsylvania and he won the election. It's over now.
In that fight, fist pumping thing. And if you did the analysis of it, they were trying to scurry him away, and he said no. Thanks so much, David the scientist. 803-799-8255. 799 Talk on the Groucho's Deli in studio hotline. We're open lined right now, so you can be the next person on deck. And it's good to see people from all over the country on at least the, I'm trying to remember which is which, on at least the Instagram feed. Something's up with X. I don't know. 803-799-8255, 799 Talk on the Groucho's Deli in studio hotline. Yeah, and we've even got one of the Orange is the New Black people. I don't have cable television, and I definitely don't have pay to play television. But only 12 days ago, Orange is the New Black actress told Joe Biden, "You now have the right to take that B word, Trump out, blow him up." So yeah, these people are just out of their minds. I mean, they're absolutely just out of their minds. And that's why you can't, these are the same people that when he won in 2016, that were screaming in public spaces and shaking their fist at the sky. These people are bottom of the barrel, sick, failed, incompetent folks. And if they're a woman, is there an attractive woman on the other side of this stuff? I don't think so. But we're going to go right to the phones and say, "Hey, caller, how are you?"
Hey, Dr. Green, this is Debbie.
Well, glad you called, Debbie. Now, were you gutted when it happened? I got a text from a patient of mine that said Trump's been shot. I got a text from a patient of mine. I wasn't plugged into anything, wasn't watching anything, and I got a text from a patient, and I'm like, no way. And so
no, I had just come out of the grocery store and I turned the radio on because I don't have TV or anything, and they said, and I thought it was like fake news or something. But so these people are sick, and you've got crazy people out there. I'm just curious to see what Whoopi Goldberg and that sick group is going to say about it. But my point is, you've got people out there, the crazies out there like Dylan Roof and those type of people. And when you hear people saying go out there and take him out, the things that Maxine Waters has said. And
get in their face. Don't allow them any peace. If they're getting gas at the gas station, if they're in a restaurant.
Well, Dr. Jean, there was a state senator a few years back when he was running, or it may have been, forgive me with my memory, I can't recall exactly, but a state senator from Missouri that said someone should assassinate him. And I don't think, obviously she didn't get reelected, but they tried to impeach her, but it didn't work, but she didn't get reelected. But when you have people saying things like that, and I've been hearing it all over the radio for the longest, and I'm sitting here, people, shut up, because people are listening to this stuff. Don't even talk about it.
We have a Secret Service agent that listens to this program, and he gave me. I have a U.S. Secret Service American flag pin, a lapel pin, given to me by him. They're going to call you up. They're going to pay a visit. They
didn't do anything to Madonna. And who was the comedian that held up the bloody head?
Yeah, except she's been destroyed. I'm trying to think of her name. Kathy Griffin. Yeah, Griffin. She used to be sort of funny, and
no, she's disgusting.
Well, she is now totally, wholly and completely disgusting. But look at these other folks that these people in the media. They are just husks of human beings. They are incomplete husks, empty shells of human beings, filled with poison and venom and every sort of disgusting thing that you can imagine. That's who they are.
There are people out there on this show that call in, but I agree with him with his comments.
Yeah, well, how about this before we ascribe something to somebody, let's let them demonstrate that first. Even though you might have a suspicion.
I still agree with David. I read people pretty well. But anyway, this shows how important it it is for Donald Trump's vice president selection, who it's going to be. I personally...
All right, hold on, Debbie. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Bottom of the hour news, back with Debbie. You can be next. 803-799-8255. Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. Republican National Convention in Milwaukee will proceed as planned. It opens tomorrow, and the organizers say Donald Trump is looking forward to being there. He also says he feels just fine. President Biden has appealed to the nation for unity following Saturday's bloodshed in Pennsylvania. In the meantime, lawmakers are promising a thorough probe into the assassination attempt. Buckingham Palace says King Charles III will visit Australia and Samoa in October, a trip that will span 12 time zones and certainly test the monarch's stamina as he recovers from cancer treatment. Situation is beginning to ease up a bit in Houston, but officials say the city is still hot. Tens of thousands of customers still without power. This is SRN News.
Hi, I'm Mary Catherine.
And I'm Thomas.
From Louisiana Purchase. Inside our restaurant,
where we serve authentic New Orleans cuisine,
we have Cypress Corner. It's an art gallery and gift shop.
It's right next to the menu board of our daily specials.
We feature local artists, jewelry,
sandwiches, hot dishes,
housewares, and gifts that are perfect for any occasion.
Warm bread pudding, beignets, and homemade pralines.
Thomas.
What? We're a restaurant.
And a gift shop. Cypress Corner inside Louisiana Purchase. St. Andrews Road in Irmo. And at LouisianaPurchase.com.
Hey, honey, got all your meds packed for our vacation?
Yep, I have my pillbox right here. Oh, no.
Here, let me help.
This pillbox is so frustrating. I have to organize it myself, and sometimes I accidentally miss a dose.
You know, True Pharmacy on Divine can package your meds by day and time so you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Think we have time for a stop? True Pharmacy, we take time to care. Come see us at 3217 Divine Street or at our new West Columbia location, Triangle Pharmacy, 1239 D Avenue. Visit truerxsc.com for more info.
Before we move on to the next caller, like I said earlier, this does concern me immensely about who his VP will be, but I don't assume anything. David said, "Oh, he's definitely one." That's one thing I don't agree with him on, because who is it Mike Johnson that's the Speaker
of the House? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've heard him talking on two different shows that I listen to. And he was talking about and I apologize, I can't remember the numbers, but it was a high percentage of the illegals that come in here. And he was talking about.
Yeah, we know it's 20 million plus. And the sort of October surprise is that he's going to grant amnesty to those people so they can vote in this election.
No. Listen, Dr. Jean. Mike Johnson brought up, and I had forgotten about this, the motor voter laws from the 90s. And he said when these illegals are coming in here, they're being taken to the welfare agencies to sign up for their benefits. And when they sign up for these benefits, they're automatically getting, they get their driver's license, the DMV gives them a driver's license and automatically registers them to vote. So he was talking about legislation. We need legislation to prove you are a valid U.S. citizen when you go to vote.
Right, and it passed the House and then got defeated in the Senate, controlled by our Democrat friends. So that and I think only five Democrats in the House voted for it, and all of the Democrat senators that were there present voted against it. So there is a party. Yeah, there's a party of election integrity, and the other people have to steal to win. So I'm going to go ahead and open it wide open there, Debbie. I now am about 90% sure that 2020 was a total steal. That it wasn't iffy. That it wasn't iffy. That it wasn't, oh, you misunderstood. No, total steal. If they're willing to do this, if they're willing to ratchet up this rhetoric, if they're willing to put the president and his kids, their lives, and all those innocent folks there in jeopardy, then surely they're willing to stuff some ballot boxes. Surely they're willing to run through, run multiple sets of the same ballots through the counting machine. Surely our lying eyes didn't completely lie.
Well, Dr. Jean, is it too late to do anything about passing something so these illegal aliens can't vote?
Well, it's a double thing. We can get it through the House, we can't get it from the Senate, and then the chief executive, as foggy as he is, unless we said, "Oh, it's your ice cream order," he's not going to sign it. So we're stuck. We're stuck until we have a real president and a real country.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be Debbie Downer, but look, I voted for the man twice. I'll vote. God willing, I'm still here to vote for him again. But I'm so concerned. I'm concerned immensely about these illegal aliens coming in here and them stealing our election again.
Yeah, don't call them illegal aliens. They're not. They're undocumented Democrats. That's exactly what they are.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. I like David's positive attitude, but I knew we were going to lose last time. I knew they were going to cheat for that very reason.
Yeah, and I knew Hillary was going to be the president too. I absolutely knew it, and I was just hoping and praying that it'd be different than it was, and it was.
Well, you know what? I just pray, and it's so funny. Tell David, you know what? My ex-husband votes like that. So he can say, "Oh, I voted in the Republican primary," you know.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sort of guilty for it too, because back when Trump,
that's my husband. Yeah, that's my ex-husband.
But when Trump was absolutely going to be the nominee, I crossed over and I voted in the Democrat primary. I voted for Tulsi Gabbard because she was the only person running for president on that side that wasn't insane.
All right, I'll give you a pass on that. But no, that's not what he's. You know, my husband does it so he can tell, because he was a lobbyist. He's retired now, so he can tell Joe and those. Yeah, I voted in the Republican. I'm a conservative. How does he say? Fiscal conservative and a social liberal. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't work like that.
Well, that's so funny, Debbie. That's so funny.
He called me last night and he said, I pray for Joe Biden. And I pray for Donald Trump. And this week, for some reason, Donald Trump has been on. I've been praying extra for Donald Trump, kid you not. And he called me very sarcastically last night. And I said, because I can't talk politics. He knows how to push my buttons, and I end up just hanging up on him. And so, we are so not on the same pole. And so he said, I said, oh my gosh. I've been praying. I said, thank God that he's okay. And he very sarcastically said, well, are you praying for our real president now? Our real president? I said, let me tell you something. I said, I pray for Joe Biden every day. And I hung up the phone.
Well, in the Orthodox Christians, Greek Orthodox Christians all in America, every Sunday pray for not only the President of the United States, but the members of the United States Armed Forces. And all those people in civil authority. And that's not necessarily a thing that is like we support them in their crazy machinations and how they're planning on destroying the country. We pray that they'll do the right thing, the thing that God would have them do.
Well,
And
Dr. Dean, the Bible tells us to pray for them.
Yeah.
And I was praying for Hunter Biden, for him to be delivered from his drug addiction.
mm-hmm. Well, that's
what?
that's another cruelty that people will say, well, that's his son, that's not him. No, the current resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue suits up his demented, drug-addicted, sex-crazed son and then sends him out to these despots with his hand out. So Hunter is the bag man, just like Kato Kalin and OJ. The reason Kato Kalin was living rent-free in OJ's garage is because he was OJ's drug dealer. And he could go to places that OJ couldn't to buy the score that OJ wanted. Same deal. A Hunter can go anywhere. He's a crack-addicted drunk. He's a citizen of the world.
Can I ask you this question, Dr. Dean, not to interrupt you, and then I'll hang up and listen to your answer. How important do you think, and if you think Donald Trump should reveal his VP selection at the convention?
No, I mean, it's appropriate to do it at the convention. It's absolutely appropriate to do it at the convention. I would slightly be disappointed if he didn't do it next week. Oh, well, I have a whole bunch of ideas from great South Carolinian Nancy Mace to Ben Carson.
Do you think who might select Nancy Mace?
Well, look, think about. So the vice presidential pick needs to be somebody that brings something to the table. And all bets might be off on that. It might not matter a bit anymore. But I look at somebody. I used to look at Kristi Noem until she had her dog problem, which really undermines her with soccer moms. But look at Nancy Mace, first female graduate of the Citadel. Girl power, girl power, girl power. Worked as a waitress at Waffle House and is a sitting U.S. rep. Girl power, girl power, girl power. Divorced woman, raising 2 kids with the help of her ex-husband and all these other things. And again, girl power, girl power, girl power. Where is the, these might be fake cracks in the Trump armor, but where is he weak? And the answer is with women and soccer mom women. And I think Nancy Mace or even Tulsi Gabbard would check a lot of those boxes.
I don't mean this. Don't misconstrue this, because I don't mean it to sound racist. Because it's not. I'm just saying the black individuals that I've spoken with, they are not fans. He thinks if he selects Tim Scott, now look.
No, Tim Scott's gone. Tim Scott came out and said that it was a right thing to do to certify the election, and so somehow he got convinced that that was a reasonable thing to say, and it's not.
Anyway, I've been told by the people that I've talked to of color that that they would not support Tim Scott because, well, the term that they look at conservative blacks.
Yeah, and somebody. Debbie, you'll appreciate this. Somebody on, and this is why I love Tim Scott. Somebody chided Tim Scott on Twitter, and they called him House N-word, and Tim Scott responded, Senate. So that's the difference. We got a bench. We got good people. We got decent policies. We're not insane. We're not sick. We're not looking to kill our opponents. We're not looking to terrorize their families. We're not looking to sell out the nation for personal benefit either.
All right. Thanks, Dr. King.
All right. You're welcome, Debbie. Great to hear from you. And we're going to jump right to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Must be me.
It is you. Is this Larry?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't surprised when I actually watched that happen.
Oh, I got a text from a patient, a right-thinking, correct-thinking patient that Trump's been shot. And and I went to some of my normal things, and they had not updated it yet. She sent it to me, evidently right as it happened.
Well, honestly,
All right, hold on, Larry. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Gene Garris, America's Radio Show, soon to be.com again. America's Radio Show, 803-799-8255.
Summers are so special around the lake. The only thing that can make it more special is finally going ahead and getting your own new boat. There's never been a better time than now. Marine 360 has a great selection of 2024s, but it won't last forever. And here's why. Everything Brandon and Scott have in their inventory is available at or below invoice cost. And not because they're good guys, which they really are. I've known them a long time. And not because there's some gimmicky commercial like some guy hawking used cars. I don't do that. That's simply because the manufacturer's rebates from folks like Crest and Sea Hunt, well, they've never been better. So you win, but you need to get moving. As the season goes by, the selection will dwindle. So my suggestion, do your homework. Go online. Look at marine360sc.com. Make an appointment. Go see Brandon and Scott at Marine 360 right on Johnson Marino Road. Look at their showroom. Get a demo on the lake itself. This is the best boating value in years. marine360sc.com or call them. 749-2360. That's 749-2360, Marine 360.
This is Ian with AccuClean. Regular carpet, rug, and upholstery cleaning isn't just about keeping them looking beautiful and smelling fresh. It can also help to extend their life, which in turn saves money in the long run. Check out AccuClean today for our other services, such as mattress sanitation, odor and enzyme treatments, and leather cleaning and conditioning. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 for all your carpet cleaning needs and more. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. I'll see you soon.
Step into a world of comfortable living with Lexington Discount Homes. For over 3 decades, we've dedicated ourselves to helping families find their dream home. Our steadfast commitment to customer service and our broad range of homes ensure a fit for every taste and budget. Experience the stunning detail of a Lexington home in person at 1847 Augusta Highway. Too busy? Visit LexingtonDiscountHomes.com for a virtual tour. For homes that spell absolute comfort, you know where to find us. Lexington Discount Homes.
Thanks for holding on.
He's talking about Mountain Dew, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, that's hillbilly heroin. Before there was Oxy, there was Mountain Dew.
When I was watching it, I actually logged on to several of these quote-unquote 24-hour news stations. Nobody had anything, and I'm like, did I just see what I thought I saw?
Yeah.
And it took them a while to put something up. But anyway, you're talking about the temperature of the room and how Democrats are astonished things like this happen with their constant vitriolic and violent rhetoric. And the thing is, there are hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube that anybody can look at. Liberals refuse to, but anybody can see them. And it's Trump supporters going to Trump rallies being physically assaulted with chains, fire irons, smoke bombs, chemical sprays. And
well, just remember what they did to Rand Paul and his family at the was it inauguration? What was it?
Also.
So yeah, I mean this is a insanity. This is absolute insanity. But that's how they do it, and there is political advantage to the mob running the street, because enough of that, and you will say, I don't care, whatever it takes to stop this. And that's when they make their move.
And I don't know if they listen to this show or not, but they've called Kevin's show several times and alluded the same points to people that vote for Donald Trump as they vote for Donald Trump. So, when they sit here and they talk about him being inhuman and uncaring and uncalculating
and a monster and a rapist and a
they hate your country, they're going to take everything away from you, and all of this, they ascribe that to everybody that votes for him.
Right.
Now, there's a couple of us that call this show and are reasonable, but there are several that ascribe those same things.
Well, Larry, it takes a lot. It takes a lot for people to even call in. So you could probably do orders of magnification of 100x of for the crazy people that will call in and say things to. Oh, there's at least 100 more people out there that believe the same thing.
Well, and as you pointed out, it's not just Democrat common people. It is the Democrat leadership. It is Biden himself that has been banging the drum for
Put a
12
bullseye
years.
on him last week.
How many times they call Bush Hitler? How
Yeah.
many times they call him a fascist? How many times they call people that followed him brown shirts? So, yeah. Now, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, you've got blood on your hands. But
You're close to it. Close to it.
Yeah.
And
So,
here's the other thing. Even the academics, these are smart people. They know how it works, and they still do it. They know the poison they are spreading among people that are vulnerable. Everybody's responsible for whatever they do themselves. But that whether you call them incels or whatever, disaffected folks, those people are ripe to this kind of violent activism. And you're still pushing the poison.
And I'm surprised at how many people never brought up Steve Scalise during all.
Yeah.
I watched hours of this. Nobody mentioned the fact that, hey, this happened not too long ago, too.
Right.
And same scenario. I will say this with a closing point. If Biden picked Nancy Mace as a VP, I'd vote for Biden.
Really?
Because I love Nancy Mace.
Okay. Well, I've had not a hate relationship, or love-hate relationship. I've never had the hate part. I just didn't understand some of the things that she did. And also remember, she was an anti-Trumper at one point, and then got pulled into the fold.
But the thing is, I'm not saying I agree with everything. I just love her. I love everything about. She's Nikki Haley, only smarter.
Right. And she
I
fights.
think
She fights for regular people, not for Boeing, not for Lockheed Martin, not for Raytheon, not for she does. She's thinking and talking about constituents of hers.
But the funniest line I may have heard politically in the last 5 or 10 years came from her. When somebody's questioning her lack of experience and the fact that maybe she didn't know enough. And she turned around, it was some young guy that he was probably in his 20s, and she said, I have stretch marks that are older than you. And she turned around and walked out. Funniest line heard in a long time.
All right, and Larry, just for a second, remember that RFK Jr. has had multiple home invasions, has a family history. His dad got murdered, his uncle got murdered as president of the United States. And the Biden administration refuses to give him Secret Service protection. So they're using that as a weapon also.
Well, not only that, but they even wanted to decrease Biden or Trump.
Yeah. Oh, no. Is it Benny Johnson? He was the guy that was the House Unselect co-chair or whatever, Nancy Pelosi's guy there. Just in the last 10 days or last 2 weeks, put forth a bill to strip President Trump of his Secret Service protection.
Exactly.
Now, I've got another one that you might not have incorporated in this. The Mar-a-Lago raid was a murder raid. They set up the rules of engagement to use deadly force against the president, against his family, and against U.S. Secret Service agents that are there. But thankfully, Trump wasn't on the thing. Remember, that came out later. They authorized deadly force.
surprisingly, that doesn't surprise me only because I remember when they arrested that minister. He was protesting outside of abortion clinic.
Yeah,
But
6
he was
o'clock
doing
in the
it
morning with his 7 kids in tow.
and he was doing it legally, yet they were still trying to press charges. And they raided his house exactly the way they raided Mar-a-Lago. They came in before anybody was out of bed. They were all dressed in black. They all had arms. They all had firearms. They all had them pointed at people. They don't care. All they care about is what party are you affiliated with.
Yep, it's tribalism, neo-tribalism. Which is old school tribalism.
I'll let somebody else call in, but good show.
Well, thanks so much, Larry. And we're going to jump right to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Hello, host. How are you?
Oh, it's BJ. I'm as good as I can be. I actually have hope for the country now. These sick, radical, and I don't want to even say low IQ because some of them seem have demonstrated smart folks. They're just evil.
Yeah. Well, they're fighting against the Lord now. We have. I think we're protected.
Well, one of my long problems with the direction our country is I believe, especially during the Second World War, that the United States almost had God's special protection. And I think with our abortive infanticide, all that stuff, all these horrible things that we do, that we don't deserve it and no longer have it.
Well, we don't deserve it, surely, but we have it.
Well, at least President Trump has it. That whatever happened in the affirmative should not have happened.
That's the person that needs it, and I believe he's got it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not going to take up your lines. I just wanted to tell you my feelings on the matter, and I pray that I'm right. I pray every day, and that's all I can do.
Well, also remember that New York and New Jersey are now swing states.
Yeah.
And I think we got Pennsylvania. You think?
Yeah.
You think we got Pennsylvania now?
No, I'm a native New Yorker, and they have really twisted the knife into people in that state. So we'll see how the chips fall.
Well, and also remember a lot of these places, the 5 governors that put COVID positive people made it the law that nursing homes had to. The only people that died from this stuff was old folks, old sick people, and they made it so that the nursing homes had to take patients that had COVID. They needed to pump those numbers up to make it look bad, and that's what they got. So these people are. I'm not saying they're demonic, but they are. Or at least they might not be directly demonic, but their policies and their attitude and how they do things is lockstep with the demons around us.
I grew up there, but I left as soon as I could, and it just it wasn't a nice place to be.
No, they stole it. It was American dream. And they stole it.
I'm an upstate.
Even better.
But anyhow, that's all I wanted to say.
All right, thanks, BJ. I'm Gene Garris. Second hour coming up. We're going to take a quick break for the news and the news only. You're welcome to call in 803-799-8255.
Credits available for getting solar power for your home or your business, and yeah, they're pretty awesome. But what about your church? Yeah. What about your nonprofits? How can you benefit from tax credits if you don't pay taxes? Well, now there's a great program in place for nonprofits. Think about that. Your church still has a pretty big power bill, right? What about taking control, saving that church money every single month by using solar power from Broker Solar? Installation rebates, tremendous savings. Bet you've never even thought about it. Maybe it's time to talk about it at your church or your nonprofit. Broker Solar has all the answers. Ken and his team know every program, every opportunity for your home, your business, and yes, your nonprofit. So you can save dollars, get rebates, get government credits. Isn't it worth looking into? Online, it's brokersolar.com, or give Ken a call, 807-7417 at Broker Solar. That's 807-7417, and tell him Kev sent you.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jason Walker. Law enforcement officials say bomb-making materials found inside the vehicle and the home of the man suspected in the shooting and wounding of Donald Trump. Man had been identified as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. He was killed later by a Secret Service sniper. In the meantime, the former president says he is fine after being treated for the minor bullet wound to his right ear. And the Secret Service facing a lot of questions in the aftermath of the assassination attempt.
Members of both political parties, including Joe Biden and Donald Trump, are praising the fast action of Secret Service agents. But there also are serious questions being asked how a gunman could have gotten so close to the former president and fired so many shots, one of them striking Trump in the ear. House Speaker Mike Johnson and the chairman of the House Oversight Committee said there would be hearings to investigate what happened. Greg Clugston, Milwaukee.
Also at townhall.com, 26 people have been killed in renewed fighting between heavily armed groups in eastern Congo.
The latest violence erupted over control of Pluto, a strategic trading center near several mining sites. Congolese forces managed to quell the fighting, which lasted for more than 4 hours on Saturday. The clashes left many people injured, including 4 Congolese soldiers. Many residents have fled as the army to pursue the attackers, accusing them of threatening to derail an ongoing peace process.
That is BBC correspondent Richard Kager. Hamas says Gaza ceasefire talks continue. The terrorist organization's military commander is in good health. That comes one day after the Israeli military targeted Muhammadi for the massive airstrike. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Well, summer is upon us and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people and you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. ReliefFactor.com, 1-800-4RELIEF, 1-800-473-5433. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
The collapse of a school in Nigeria has killed at least 24 students, and officials fear the numbers will climb.
More than 100 people were trapped in the rubble. Rescue efforts have saved some, but a number of bodies have since been recovered from the debris. The Saints Academy College in Plateau State collapsed shortly after students, many of whom were 15 years old or younger, arrived for classes. Shortly after, emergency services were deployed to the scene. State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has said the collapse is a wake-up call. Building collapses are becoming common in Nigeria.
Nearly 1 million power adapters sold with sound machines marketed to help infants sleep are being recalled. Authorities say the plastic surrounding the AC power adapter that was supplied with some of Hatch's Rest first-generation sound machines can come off, leaving the prongs exposed. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com.
Lots of plumbing companies out there. Few are truly local. Time to discover the difference with Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. See, when I faced plumbing woes at the Cohen home, Josh and his dedicated team, well, they were my go-to solution. They make a commitment to exceptional service. They arrived on time, clearly detailed all the costs and procedures, and efficiently handled all my repairs without any surprises. These days, how often do we complain about a lack of customer service out there? With Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, these folks are professional. They're courteous. They're skilled at what they do, and they've earned my trust, and they've earned my recommendation to you. From urgent repairs to the tankless water heater you've always wanted, they've got you covered. Visit franklinplumbing.sc.com or call 799-2222. That's 799-2222. Hey, you tell them Kev sent you from The Point. Pretty sure you'll want to thank me later.
Hey y'all, this is Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We'd like to invite you and your family to dine with us. We have a great menu that's sure to please your whole family. We have fresh cooked burgers, big juicy wings, blue plate menu featuring country cooking, oven baked hoagies, fresh crisp salads, authentic Greek food like gyros, souvlaki, and baklava. We also carry 20 different premium cheesecakes and pies. Flight Deck Restaurant also has an arcade with 30 different games like Star Wars, Batman, Skee Ball, Bass Wheel, Pac-Man, Galaga, and so much more. Flight Deck, your favorite family restaurant. Thanks y'all and God bless.
Have you fallen behind on your taxes and might be facing IRS penalties? Have wage garnishments, levies, or liens? Have unfiled tax returns? You want someone local and qualified. Don't fall for those national spots. Meet with me, Teresa, at Capital City Professional Services, and let me help you through your tax maze. I can help with all your tax resolution issues. There are options to get you back on track. Call Capital City Professional Services, 400-8683. That's 400-8683.
That's 799-TALK on the Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline. And, of course, right now, this moment at the top of the hour, we're open for you. We can take a whole bunch of calls. But let's go do this real quick. Our friends at Real Clear Politics. Oops, there we go. Arizona, Trump up 5. Nevada, Trump up 8.7. New Hampshire, Biden is leading that. And then, of course, the thing just refreshed, so I'm waiting for it to reload. Wisconsin, Trump up 2.6. Michigan, Trump up 5. I'm sorry, that's another one. But yeah, so things are changing in the affirmative for the orange man. I mean, I was surprised. I was really, really surprised and again, I got a text from a patient that said basically, oh my God, Trump has been shot. And then I went to the usual suspects, just like our friend Larry said, and there was no updates. And then all of a sudden, the updates started coming in, and that gave me stories to look at and read. But of course, we need to do away with this DEI, U.S. Secret Service, Department of the Treasury. We need to do away with that. The ponytail crew failed, and this is mission critical, too important. And I'm worried about everybody that has Secret Service protection. If that's the best we got, we don't have much. And we're going to go right to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Gene, how you been?
I'm doing great, Van Man, the man with the van, Van the man.
Yeah. I got done watching watching the shooting with the tragic thing. I watched it on my phone though this morning.
Uh-huh.
And he got given to the guy. The way he stood up, wow. That dude's what, Trump 77, 78,
yeah,
something like that. Oh man. And so that's iconic. but along the lines what you're just saying, the Secret Service, they choked, man. How could they let that guy, that assassin, get
a high point overlooking the venue? Why wasn't there? They had Secret Service snipers. Why wasn't there one on that rooftop?
I know these guys that were partying were like, "Hey, there's a guy climbing the building, duh," and
with a rifle.
Yeah, I'm not wow, but yeah, that was divine intervention too, I believe, because the way, a couple of millimeter other, it would have hit his head, man. Trump would be dead, and so a lot of people pray for him, and it just went through for that split second. It's awful, but the Secret Service choked, and I agree with you, and this sounds sexist. I don't care.
It doesn't matter when we talk about law enforcement stuff.
Around me.
Even our,
I want like football players standing around me.
I want the scariest guys on the planet.
Yeah, with guns and no. So okay, all the women can hate me now, but still, no. God bless. God is good, man, because and there are people who are laughing about it. Oh, the guy missed or whatever. Yeah, that's disgusting. But,
or maybe he didn't miss. Maybe he was perfectly aligned on target, and a little bit of angelic intervention moved the bullet over a little bit.
Well, it's just a little creepy.
No, if he hadn't turned his head, he would be dead.
Yeah.
He turned his head to look at the monitor to see there was some facts and figures on the monitor. He turned his head, and that was the thing that made the difference.
Yeah, well, like I said, God is good, and
but these people. You've some of them call up and talk, and that's fine. But these radicals, the same people screaming at God, the same people screaming at the shaking their hands at the sky, the same people wailing after the 2016 election. Those people, they
haven't grown up. They're still out there.
Yeah, they're human beings that are just barely human. They're not fully developed. They're somewhat held back or something. They think that this is okay, and this is not for you, of course, but for other people. If you threaten the president on social media, in a bar, in a restaurant, if you say that stuff, it's very likely you're going to get a visit. It's very likely. That's not a thing. That's not a like, oh, well, he's just over.
No, a friend of a friend of mine. Yeah, a friend of a friend. He wasn't my friend, but he was my friend's friend. He said something stupid a long time ago or something, and they came and saw him.
Yeah,
but this is I don't know. I think it's good for Trump. It's a tragic thing. Some poor guy just sitting there got killed, shot in the head, man. He goes to the rally. That's awful.
Yeah.
So,
a hero. He was a retired fire chief.
Fireman. Yeah, fireman. That's right.
So how about that? Those are the kinds of people that are in the crowd.
Yeah. Well,
decent people, friends and neighbors.
I've never been to one of the rallies, though. I know some people who've been to rallies. They say it's pretty fun, but they also have, you're right, counter people who hate Trump throwing eggs at him and stuff or whatever. That stuff happens. But hey, it's decisive and everything. But I hate to be all mushy. You got to come together. I don't believe half the politicians when they them what happened. They're like, damn, man, they hate Trump. They tried to lock the guy up.
Yeah.
For how many years now? Take everything from him. Now they can't even kill him. He's gonna win.
Yeah.
But man,
No, I think he's already won.
My buddy always said he's a Trump. He loves Trump. He turned me on to Trey. He lives out in Florida. He always said, I'm so surprised no one's tried to kill him yet. The way they hate this man.
Yeah.
And, they tried it, man.
Well, I'm trying to think of that. I think it's Sammy the Bull Gravano. He was...
Obster.
He was the number 2 guy in John Gotti's thing.
Yeah.
And he said, we tried to get a hook into Trump, but all Trump's private security are ex-FBI people. And we could never make a thing. We could never get him alone to be able to get a hook in him because he outsmarted him.
Talk about Teflon. I mean, he dealt with mobsters. He built buildings in New York. Come on, he dealt with
delivered concrete. You think he knows a little bit about how it works?
He's been the president. He's getting shot at. He's Trump, man. This guy's going to go down in history. He's a character, too. There's something gung-ho about him. And I'm just going to keep, like I called, last time I called Kevin Shaw, I was like, he's like G.T. Barnum, man. He's going to keep kicking butt, and he will. And this will be a big, and that fist pumping, man, right after he gets shot. That's so cool.
Fight.
Fight, man. All right, Dr. G.
All right, thanks, Van. We got another caller on deck. We'll get them. You can come on to 803-799-8255. We'll be right back after this.
I've been asked plenty of times from folks who see our beautiful point hats and shirts and sweatshirts, who does your promotional materials? It's Bardak Design and Promotions over on Rosewood. They used to be Tease Me. Different name, same team, same quality. And that team, well, has been doing this forever, and it shows. They have quick turnaround. Their pricing is very fair. You're looking for the best quality in screen printing, unrivaled creativity, where incredible quality is assured. Well, you want Bardak. Hey, local matters. Ordering online from these national guys, that means you're taking your chances. You don't know what you're going to get until it's in your hands. Bardak Design stands by their work. This time of year, it's family reunions, graduations, summer camp, softball, and baseball. They can do it all. Whatever you need for your team, for your office, for your event, you want your employees proudly displaying your logo while looking sharp and professional. And they have no logo? Well, fine. Bardak can design your apparel. Oh, and tell them you want the point discount. They're conveniently located near the State Fairgrounds, 1334 Rosewood Drive, or give Bardak a call, 254-7940, 254-7940 for Bardak Design and Promotion.
At Palmetto State Armory, we've dedicated ourselves to providing responsible citizens with the freedom to protect themselves and their loved ones. For over a decade, we've been manufacturing top-quality American-made components and assembling them in Columbia, South Carolina, so that you can purchase them directly from us, either in-store or online at PalmettoStateArmory.com. We are committed to offering you the best, most reliable equipment you can count on. We invite you to visit us today and see what makes us different. Palmetto State Armory, American made for life.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat Place, just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
It is you, Gino. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, I was listening to you while driving with my dog in the car with the AC at 63 degrees. Hopefully those little mosquitoes will die at temperature. It's a strange thing. I leave my car with the little gap in the windows, but those mosquitoes just get in there. But once I put the air conditioner, they want to get out.
Yeah.
So make up their minds. You want to stay in or you want to stay out?
Yeah.
Anyway, How about what happened in Butler? By the way, I know Butler a little bit about it.
Oh, I don't even know where in the great state of Pennsylvania it is. And you know, the people in Pennsylvania don't want to be thought of as the new Dallas. They did not want that to happen. It's just horrible.
It's a small town like Casey, West Columbia, about 25,000 people.
Okay.
Average income about 40,000. Lower middle class to lower class.
But good people. Trump people.
No crime to speak of. Unlike last weekend in Chicago, where 100 people got shot, black on black crime, and 19 of them were killed. And nobody makes a big fuss of it because it's big deal. It's in Chicago. It happens every summer.
Every time it gets hot. Every time there's a 3-day weekend.
I was watching the slight delay last night about what happened to Mr. Trump, and I'm glad the reaction was fast. And I don't know if you've been close to being.
Well, the reaction was fast, but it was somewhat incompetent too. At one point, one of the lead Secret Service women was using Trump as a shield for herself.
Oh, you mean that woman up front?
Yes.
I hope you get some calls from strong women.
This is a thing. Wait, did you know this is a thing? We can all talk about the girl power, karate girls that kick and do all this stuff, all these things that are portrayed in the media as realistic. But when the 300-pound guy grabs you, he's got you. And you're not going to be able to kick your way out of there.
You remind me of years ago when I was on the all-night railroad going to the city, and they get rid of the minimum height and stuff like that. I couldn't believe how many young men and women were usually too short to be a policeman like 40 years ago. I don't want to see a policeman who's 5'7", or especially a female 5'6". Well, let's be honest. If physicality gets used, where you're going to try to put the handcuffs on somebody or not, whether he's a male, female, small or big, and you need help. So basically, you are like half-ass police person when it comes to certain situations. That's all.
Right, like you're not a fully functional soldier in defense of your people, and it's really bad in the court system. There was a guy that overpowered a court bailiff, who's a law enforcement person, and then escaped with her firearm.
I don't know. It seems like judges should have bodyguards now.
Many judges have their own firearm. Many judges, there was a woman, I can't remember her name. She was a blonde judge in the city of Atlanta Municipal Court. And a guy charged the bench and attacked her. So even somebody that wasn't in handcuffs on the jail side, when they brought anybody in front of her, they handcuffed him first, and then a bailiff was right behind him. So it's all guys, of course.
It's what they call it when you play basketball, you have two guys guarding one guy.
Yeah.
This shooting, first of all, remind me of when one time I was in Florida at the mall, and I saw as soon as I got in there with the girlfriend at the time, and in 1 second floor where the lady stuff is, and we started, he was shot. Somebody was shooting, and at first you think it's a BB gun, because you're used to it.
And there's a big disconnect, like in the Mandalay Bay shooting in Las Vegas. Hillary Clinton's first thing when asked about it was, imagine how bad it would have been if he'd had a silencer. That's when that Hearing Protection Act was moving in the Congress. And the truth of the matter is, nobody hears the shot that hits them, because the bullet is traveling at 2,800 feet per second, which is much faster than the speed of sound.
You get hit, and the reaction's like maybe 1 second later, say, "Oh, I got hit."
Yeah.
Well, it depends on where, because some places you may not have any reaction at all. Anyway,
well, also, Gino, remember in 1983 when President Reagan got shot, the Secret Service guy piled in on top of him into the limousine, and they took off.
Right.
And the Secret Service guy was rubbing his hands up and around under his armpit and down his torso, all the things that weren't seen. And he pulled his hand out, and there's blood on the hand. So now he knew it was real.
Imagine if we have a female president, how many guards she would have to need just because she's a quote unquote a female. But I want to say this. First of all, I'm glad that nothing big happened to a presidential candidate, number two. But what hit me the most is about the real hero of the situation. That 50-year-old Italian-American guy, Comparatore, who covered his own daughter, and that's how he got killed.
Right.
Now, this is, of course, you got kids. I got a daughter and a son. Now they're 30s or 40s. But the thing is this. There's no such instinct stronger than maybe mother and son or mother and daughter than a father trying to cover up his little girl. And you don't think about this. You just do it because...
It's automatic.
It's not even a reflex reaction. It's faster than that. So I want to say that's important. But what bothers me is this now. I hope he gets mentioned tomorrow or the next day from nationwide. What bothers me is that, is it true that they were requesting more Secret Service agents and somebody, was it a dead ear, or they want to hear it, or they refuse to give him more?
Right. In the recent past, and again, remember, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has had multiple home invasions at his house. He's running for president. He's got a family history of this, and he has been denied Secret Service protection, and it's insane.
On the press, because what? The Bidens will want him around? Is that it? Is that what he comes for?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's a legitimacy thing. If we're denied that he's even a real candidate.
Okay. Let me close with this. On a Tuesday, 9/11, I was in New York City in the morning trying to get to South Carolina. So we all know what happened.
Yeah.
Unless you're there, you don't really know. So, and you know what happened to Saudis? It was
Yeah, they're the only civilian aircraft that was allowed to fly out of the United States.
Let's suppose some of these illegals come in the States now, whether they're from India, China, Iran, this and that. They can just so easily plan such vicious thing, which works result, and that it seems like it won't be so difficult to plan such thing, whether it's in Butler, Pennsylvania, or in the subways of New York, or the subways of Washington, D.C. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, in the same way that there are war plans that the Pentagram has for every country on the planet, surely these terrorist people well, what horrible things can we do today?
When I came back 6 hours later, 9/11 home, I stopped at a friend of mine restaurant, and I says, I can't believe this. He says, yeah, you were in the Air Force, right? I said, yeah. Guess what? The Pentagon got hit. That's one thing which I'll never forget. What do you mean the Pentagon got hit? They don't have any radar system?
No, we're the missiles. So they thought that it was they're going to ground one of the airplanes into the White House, and it's very likely the Pennsylvania flight was shot down by Dick Cheney. So that's there. Well, thanks so much for calling there, Gino, and we're going to jump right to the phones. Hey, caller, how are you?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Super Tim, leader of Democracy.
How's it going? Yeah. Why are you guys listening to you guys? Why are you guys surprised that Donald Trump is going to try to kill him? I mean, who? In all fairness, who set this climate?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe somebody that was in love with Jodie Foster. These people are crazy by definition, but the incompetence of the Secret Service, as part of the national government, it should have never happened. This is somebody that should have been rousted out of the thing. And you say, oh, well, there was an arrest made. No, this should have never happened. This is gross incompetence, almost intentional incompetence if you look at it from another position.
No, not really, because this is going for a long time. Because Obama almost wasn't here. I mean, Obama. It's a miracle that he made it through 8 years. Because they had people walk in the White House that was completely vetted. So this is not a party thing. This is a issue. Period. But Donald Trump did create a climate in this country of violence. And
what person did he go out after violently?
Well, I mean, every time he has a rally, he professes violence. I mean, it's ironic that his team is now crying about such atrocity happened when Donald Trump asked for the blood of his vice president, basically. I mean, for his vice president.
No, that's gone. That's gone, Tim. That's illegitimate. And all right, hold on, Tim. Hold on. We'll be right back after this, and we'll let you get your last word in, or a little bit more than that. Gene Garris, America's Radio Show.com.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. Former President Donald Trump calling for unity after an attempt on his life, adding fresh uncertainty to an already tumultuous presidential campaign. That shooting Saturday also raised a lot of questions on how a gunman was able to open fire from a rooftop near that rally. The gunman's motive still a mystery. Republican National Convention, meanwhile, in Milwaukee will proceed as planned. It opens tomorrow. Organizers say Donald Trump looks forward to being there. As a matter of fact, he's already there in Milwaukee, and he says he feels fine. The situation in Houston it's a little bit better. Earlier in the week, more than 900,000 people were without power. Officials now say that's about 350,000 customers who are still sweating. This is SRN News.
Here's a shocker. It gets hot in South Carolina. Seems kind of crazy that if you got a home or you got a business, you're sick of the power companies controlling you, demanding rate increases every 6 months, sick of your power bill going up. You can't even pick your power company, but you can choose Broker Solar to give you some control over that bill. Solar panels are not free like some of these stupid yard signs say. These door knockers often, they're scam artists. Not Broker Solar. They don't go knocking on the doors. I told Ken I want some incentive for our Point family listeners. So purchase a system from Broker Solar. Your first solar panel is free. Look, I'm not into scare tactics, but this is an election year. And the way things are going, well, maybe it's time to stop relying on the government or these power companies. Broker Solar offers you control. Solar can save you money. These solar batteries are amazing. What a huge difference they can make. Do your homework online. It's brokersolar.com or just call Ken. I trust him. I really do. You can also. 807-7417. That's 807-7417.
I'm sorry?
Who's that by?
This is by Poi Dog Pondering, Chicago group that I used to play way back when I was on Clemson Strong World University Radio. It's a band that I like a lot. Poi Dog Pondering.
Okay. Sounds some my stuff. But anyway,
It's really positive and happy and clean, and it's really I would have loved to have been able to see them in concert.
Yeah, I play guitar too. Plays just played a band in high school. But anyways, okay, let's get back to business here. Yeah, regarding I just want to say a comment regarding Debbie and Larry and some of the others. Now, Debbie, I'm sorry, you keep being delusional like that. I'm going to give you a nickname.
No, well, Debbie is such a sweet human being that she doesn't deserve a negative thing. And even if you disagree with her, she's telling her how she feels. So that's she's not jumping down your throat or trying to take things out of your household. She's not trying to beat anybody up. She say, hey, look, this is the way I see it. This is the way I feel.
Yeah, it may feel that way, but it's still kind of scary to see her being that far, and in the trenches for a man who's really the complete opposite.
People love Trump. A handful of people. A majority of his voters love him. Last time, without equivocation, he got at least 70 million Americans to vote for him. That's sort of a big deal, and that's, I think, on the low side.
So sad that he does not love them. I'm still waiting. I may be wrong, but I'm still waiting. But I have not heard any condolences by him of the people that got killed.
Oh no, that's already happened to him. He did that. He did that when he made it home.
Okay, all right, well, you do that.
He was the first. That was the first thing. That was the first thing.
Well, I only saw that. I mean, I saw it live when it happened. I was watching it when it happened. I knew it. I knew immediately it was a assassination attempt.
Yeah, that's that pop. And I tell you what, it's not that. How about this? It's not that he's bulletproof, but he is definitely bullet resistant.
Well, I believe my theory, it wasn't so much that I mean, okay, look. It's 1 inch, okay? It is 1 inch.
Or a centimeter. If he had not turned his head, he would have been splattered out in front of everybody.
And it's ironic, the man who hates teleprompters so much, teleprompters saved his ass that day.
Well, I think he looked, I think it was a monitor. They said monitor. I don't know if that was the same thing as the teleprompter. But he turned his head to look at something like a series of figures or a graph or something.
Well, I remember he was saying something about. I thought he was saying something about these teleprompters things, monitor things. But anyways, back to the question regarding the silencer. Now that was a legitimate. That was a legitimate topic too, because I mean, just imagine someone that had a silencer. Even though
it would have made no difference at all. Nobody heard the shot that killed him. Not a one.
Yeah, but I'm saying with a silencer, you wouldn't know where it came from, though.
Yeah, you will. It still makes a noise.
So eventually, you'll know that. You'll know immediately.
Well, no. You need 2 or 3 shots to be able to. First shot is what's going on. Second shot is it's over that direction. Third shot is it's up there. So yeah, if he just fired once and then had a 30-second pause and fired again, they wouldn't be able to. It's crazy there, Tim. But it's different than what we think we know. And
I don't say this, but I don't say that. I'm entirely conspiracy theorist calling the show. I say somehow, they're trying to say in a condescending way, in a sly way, that Biden is behind the establishment somehow coordinated this. I mean.
No, it's not. It's not going to be anything that the president of the United States signed off on. That wouldn't be something. But there's a lot of bad actors in the country, and there's a lot of crazy people. And all you have to do is program a crazy person a little bit and then push them over the edge, and they do crazy stuff.
Well, Donald Trump called for the assassination of an American general. And that's a federal offense. You know that, right?
Was it Milley?
Yeah.
Yeah, Milley violated his oath of office and said he was planning on... No, that's the crime. That's the crime. If you're on record in a book saying that you're going to give aid and comfort to China, which could very well be an enemy of ours, if you think of it that way. And remember, Commander-in-Chief, what is the immediate response to that type of insubordination? Now, remember, this is the reason why officers have handguns. It's not to kill the bad guys. It's to kill the bad guys that wear the same uniform. So what what does a field commander do in that level of insubordination?
Well, some reason, let's say I've been in boot camp, and every soldier, seaman, airman, they all know this, but somehow everybody seems to be lacking it these days. That they all tried to boot camp from day one to avoid an unlawful order.
Right.
Either the president of the United States told you to do it. It was unlawful. Don't do it. So
Right.
Millie was basically doing every military person is taught to go by the Constitution, not to work for the president, not to go by the president. The Constitution
Right,
is the final
well, the Constitution is the final authority, but the Constitution is also where he's defined as the commander-in-chief of the U.S. Armed Forces. So if you say, well, if he does this, then I'm going to go and narc him out to my Chinese overlords in Beijing. Well, if that happened, the appropriate response to that is immediate court-martial, and you might not have time to hang it.
Millie was acting in the protection of the United States.
But he wasn't. He didn't have that power. Chain of command. Couldn't do it. He couldn't do it, buddy. He just couldn't do it.
He wasn't doing it in the sense of aiding the enemy. He was trying to prevent a catastrophe.
But it was. But it would be. It would be aiding the enemy.
No, it wouldn't be. It's about the greatest good.
And again, if there had been one time where Trump jumped the gun, if there had been one time where he misused his authority with the armed forces, you might have a little bit of a case, but you don't have one.
I do have a case. Donald Trump tries to subvert the United States government. Like trying to
No, he didn't. You can't have an insurrection without firearms being involved.
No,
Everybody knows that, Tim. Everybody knows that.
That's a semantic game. You got to play.
No, if you're going to fight a war, you got to have soldiers. Soldiers need firearms.
That doesn't define what a version is.
Well, it wasn't an insurrection. They never even charged him with it. I've got I've got 3 people on deck. Let me let you go, and we'll jump here, and I'll say, "Hey, caller, how are you?" Hello, caller. Oh, a double shot. What's going on there, Larry?
I keep waiting for you to bring it up, and I haven't heard you discuss it yet. You keep talking about how incompetent they were. I saw the BBC interview a guy that said he repeatedly, for several minutes, pointed the gunman.
Right. They were having like a watch party, but they couldn't see Trump. They were listening to the thing in like a condominium or something that was adjacent to the thing. Yeah, he pointed it out.
He directly spoke to the police and pointed where the gunman was at for 2 minutes and said, "Why is Trump still up there?" while pointing at the gunman, and nobody did anything.
Oh, it's worse than that. They did take the bait with that man, and a guy climbed a ladder and saw the gunman. The gunman turned with his rifle and pointed it at the Secret Service agent, and then he descended the ladder and sought coverage, and that's when the shots rang out against Trump.
Okay, because I heard he had pointed the gun at somebody else first. I didn't know that.
Right. It was either law enforcement or Secret Service person. But yeah, it's garbage. If you were working in a restaurant and you did something so incompetent on the level of this stuff, you would never have a job again.
Well, the entire purpose of the Secret Service being out there is to protect the president. The president is on stage and he sees a gunman and he doesn't engage him.
Right.
Stunning.
Right. Well, he hadn't shot the president yet. That's what they wanted, maybe. Who knows? I don't want to overdo that thing. But when the incompetence is that bad, at some point you wonder, how can somebody be that incompetent unless they have another agenda?
But yeah, I know you got other callers. I just couldn't let it pass about people that might not know this story to know just how bad our quote unquote Secret Service is.
Well, here's another thing, Larry, and I don't know if you know this, but J. Edgar Hoover was blackmailing all the Hollywood folks, all the Hollywood producers and stuff. So most of what you know as an American growing up in sort of contemporaneous with me about federal law enforcement is because of Hoover's grasp over the Hollywood system and the blackmailing he was doing. You know, for most of the history of the Justice Department or the FBI, it was, you know, Hoover was there for over half of his existence. And all these untouchables, all this rock rib, super strong, honest, great stuff, all that stuff is a fiction. And people like Peter Strzok and those people revealed it to us. Thanks so much, Larry. Next two people will get you.
Nothing has changed.
Say that one more time.
So basically, nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed.
Summers are so special around. The only thing that can make it more special is finally going ahead and getting your own new boat. There's never been a better time than now. Marine 360 has a great selection of 2024s, but it won't last forever. And here's why. Everything Brandon and Scott have in their inventory is available at or below invoice cost. And not because they're good guys, which they really are. I've known them a long time. And not because there's some gimmicky commercial like some guy hawking used cars. I don't do that. That's simply because the manufacturer's rebates from folks like Crest and Sea Hunt, well, they've never been better. So you win, but you need to get moving. As the season goes by, the selection will dwindle. So my suggestion, do your homework. Go online. Look at marine360sc.com. Make an appointment. Go see Brandon and Scott at Marine 360 right on Johnson Marino Road. Look at their showroom. Get a demo on the lake itself. This is the best boating value in years. marine360sc.com or call them 749-2360. That's 749-2360, Marine 360.
You already know Palmetto Citizens Credit Union offers truly free checking and great rates on auto loans. But did you know they do mortgages too? Whether you need a first or second mortgage, a home equity line of credit, or a loan for construction, renovation, a lot, or a manufactured home, Palmetto Citizens has you covered. They're a community financial institution based solely here in the Midlands, so they offer a refreshingly simple mortgage process you won't get from the big banks or online lenders. Along with a great rate, the Palmetto Citizens Mortgage Team will work with you to tailor the loan to best fit your needs and budget. Apply for your mortgage today by visiting palmettocitizens.org or stopping by any of their 14 branches across the Midlands. Palmetto Citizens, proudly serving this community since 1936. Equal housing lender, MMLS ID number 449962. Approval based on credit worthiness. Certain restrictions may apply.
Hey, caller, what's going on?
Hey, Dr. Gene, how are you?
I'm doing great, Nick. What's I mean, were you as shocked as I was? Did this happen?
Yeah, I kind of was, to tell you the truth. And, you know, the thing that shocks me more is people like Tim and Ed and David and everybody else out there in the La La Land. They don't realize they were a half inch away from FOFA. You know, fool around and find out.
Yeah.
Because they thought George Floyd was bad.
Yeah.
They ain't seen nothing yet.
Well, see, that's another thing that
they thought Kyle Rittenhouse was a murderer and a madman.
Yeah.
They really don't want to know what real people will do.
Well, but
they really don't want to know.
But so I have this test, and the friends of mine that were at Occupy Columbia when they were doing that Occupy Wall Street thing. So I have some tests, and one of the tests is, it's not important if people that have mortgages aren't involved in it. But you can't go around to a political thing and go, hey, do you have a mortgage? Hey, do you have a mortgage? You can't do that, right? But when the people with mortgages and skin in the game, when they get involved, it's big. Well, it's big now. And the other thing is that the other side of it is, and this is a metric, and I call it the pretty girl metric. And I can't ask people about the mortgages, but when I'm in a crowd of people, I start looking at the pretty girls and because they always have options. There's always something else that they could be doing. So when it's the usual suspects, when it's sort of the Antifa crowd or this crowd or that crowd, that's one thing. But when it's real people, it's different. We're the real people, and I'm not saying that there's going to be a limit and that regular folks are going to take up arms and create a problem, but there are some concerns that we need to be concerned about.
Yeah, there's more concerns than people want to realize, because you have people that live in this fantasy world that think that, Kennedy was killed by a lone gunman who, was just some nut job.
Right. Who was then, and then that guy was killed by Jack Ruby.
By another lone gunman who was just some nut job.
Who was dying of
wrapped up
cancer.
nice.
You know that? Jack Ruby was dying of cancer?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey,
No
buddy,
doubt.
you're on the way out. We'll give your widow $100,000. You got to take this one for the team.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to believe up until, RFK Jr. come out and said the quiet part out loud, which was, it's a lie.
Well, the thing with RFK Jr. is he has met with the kill team, the CIA kill team that was targeting his uncle. He's met with those people.
I'm not trying to get off track, but I'm just saying, it's there's a lot of talk out there, but I don't want to see anything happen. But I'm just saying, I mean, I'm not, and I'm like you, I got a mortgage, I got a life, but if it comes to the point that if I had to leave my house to take action, or somebody, God forbid, ever attack me, it's an end game. It ain't going to be no see you in court. I mean, that's what I'm saying. People don't realize that real people that work for a living, and we have to put up with this crap all our life, they're pushing them to the edge. As Chuck Schumer said, you reap the whirlwind before he got Brett Kavanaugh attacked.
Yeah.
So they need to watch their language.
So they're
going to reap the whirlwind.
Well, the other side uses the mob to their advantage. Why in the world? I mean, if you're the mayor of Portland, Oregon, why in the world would you let anybody burn your city down? Why would you tolerate that? They're murdering cops, and why would you? And not that a law enforcement person has any more value than a regular civilian. Why in the world would you tolerate that? Why would anybody do that? You're not going to do that here. You're not going to do it there. It's not going to happen here. We're not going to stop you. And that's reasonable. That's what you expect.
The second attempt on a president's life, on President Trump, and people can think whatever they want, and Tim can talk about Obama. And I remember there was some nut job that made some comment online about doing a drive-by. And that was as far as it went. He's locked up for life. Okay.
Wow.
And no one would ever touch Obama, but because, I mean, let's just say it. I mean, Big Mike's at the wheel. She's driving the train, buddy. She's the conductor, and Obama's the caboose. Okay, so
well, if that's true, and I think you can make an argument that is true, but if people on your side and my side would be the ones that would be most aggrieved by the Obama administration, we're also not the people to do these things. But they've got a whole universe of people that are on Luvox, people that are on the SSRIs, almost all the people that do horrible acts. Like, oh, well, he was on the radar of the FBI. Well, why didn't you interdict it? Why didn't you stop it? Why didn't you do this? Oh, he was there. He's been known to the FBI. Well, did you have a handler on him?
It's like Gino and other people pointed out, even RFK can't get extra security. And, with his history, they won't give him extra.
He gets nobody. He's got no Secret Service protection, and he's already have at least 2, maybe 3 home invasions.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's coming to the point where people keep pushing the line, and they really don't want the reality that's going to hit them in the face. And That's
And
the
I don't
thing
want it
when-
either. I don't want anybody to suffer and die.
No,
and
nobody
suffer.
does, but
Well, there are
nobody
some
does,
people
but
that they're those
like
people
war.
that need the mob. They do. I mean, those people that need the mob to run the streets. So the regular folks.
No, they need the sheeple like Antifa and people who can't think for themselves. They don't need, like I said, I mean, and I'm not talking
they are not.
but I'm just
they're-
saying they do not want to start a pot.
Yeah, they're not necessarily the party of the responsible folks. Let me go, Nick. I got one more person I got to get in, and we'll catch you on the flip side, and we'll say, "Hey, caller, how are you?"
Hey, Gene, did you catch the laptop that was sat on by an agency and then was actually introduced as evidence in the Hunter Biden gun case by the same agency? Did you catch that little tidbit of information?
Yeah, well, that was the proof, I think. The proof,
Right, but they sat on it. It didn't exist for 2 years, and then it was introduced as evidence. So what changed? And I promise you, you're getting ready to hear the chorus of "Let's say it together." Can't comment on an ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
Can't comment on an ongoing investigation. Do you think we're going to be hearing that pretty soon in the halls of Congress?
I think it's already happened. But
Has it really?
Yeah, I think.
I'm amazed and appalled that the Secret Service hadn't even made a statement. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, they know that
Have
they
even made an
goofed it
official
up.
statement?
Not to my knowledge, but they
Okay.
know they goofed it up. But hey, it doesn't matter if they're going to have a statement or not. The head of the Secret Service will be before a congressional committee this week.
All sarcasm aside, we need to be praying for our country.
Right.
Continuing to be
We
praying.
we are as close to the end as we've ever been. Redcoats leaving boats was less of a threat to our lively existence than what's happening now.
And what they don't realize is they've got all these nice big fat retirements, but when it goes away, those go away too.
Right.
That's what they don't realize. I want honest servants. I mean, it's amazing to me.
Well, if you committed crimes while you were in a position of authority, you shouldn't have. You should be able to profit on the backside from your criminal actions. That pensions and things should probably go away.
I just, that President Biden. Anyway, I'm not going to. But yeah, there needs to be accountability. That's the missing link in all of this.
No, all
There's
these
no
things.
accountability.
With your children, accountability is important. With the tradesman that comes to fix your air conditioning, accountability is important. All these things. That's what matters.
I mean, and I'm not making this stuff up. Don't you remember the FBI agent about the smelly people in Walmart? These were senior FBI people.
Yeah, Peter
I mean,
Strzok.
and nobody. Remember, he said something like that. He texted it.
Yeah, to his the woman he was having an affair with. I'm sorry, but if you're federal law enforcement and you're having an affair with another federal law enforcement person,
you're compromised.
You're completely
You're
compromised.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm thankful that President Trump turned his head.
Thank God.
I mean, we don't know how close we came to losing President Trump and that American citizen that died. That's where the accountability. That should have never happened.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, the second that they identified a shooter on a roof, that should have been the end of it.
I hope we get a fast, transparent, and thorough review because I hope that those snipers had total weapons release authority. I hope they didn't have to wait on an okay. I mean, wouldn't you think they would? If they see a threat, shouldn't they be able to take it out?
Yes, I think that was probably their
I don't know.
standard operating procedure. But who knows with these people? Remember, Merrick Garland authorized deadly force in the Mar-a-Lago murder raid. And thank God President Trump wasn't there, or they could have forced that issue too. So and I think Trump was supposed to be there, but he was in Bedminster, New Jersey instead.
But you got to give it to his Secret Service detail. I think that when it all comes out, you're going to hear some of these people talk about how they like being President Trump.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for calling. That's the end of the program. Gene Garrett's going to catch you next week. Another 2 hours. Can you believe that? Goodness. Catch you on the flip side.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? but to order at Kaufman's Meeting Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meeting Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Do you crave growth for your business? That's where The Point comes in. Fran Halloran here. Kevin Cohen and the other local hosts like me have worked to create a space where listeners transform into family. Are you a local business aiming for the stars? You need